Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, whatever the case might be for you as you watch this video. I'm Bo Armistead. I'm a licensed professional counselor in Birmingham, Alabama. And today I just wanted to make a quick video and talk to you about trauma and how trauma impacts our brain and what PTSD looks like. So here's the deal. Our brain can process any bit of information, any normal life event. So if we go through a normal day and experience normal things, our brain can process that stuff, and it's not a problem. Our brain's like a file cabinet. This is how I like to describe things when I'm talking to people about trauma in our brain. Our brain's like a file cabinet, and it's very nicely organized, very tidy. I've never actually seen an accountant's office or file cabinet, but I sort of imagine it like that, kind of like real tidy, real organized, like everything has its place. Alphabetical, numerical, chronological, it's all in order. And when we go to sleep at night and we get the deep restorative processing sleep that we need, the REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, our brain processes the events of our day. And so any kind of normal day, any kind of normal life experiences, our brain can handle it, and it processes all of that information and files everything away nice and tidy at the end of each day when we're sleeping. And then the next day, we don't have any sort of disturbance over what happened the previous day because it's all filed away. Now, I mean, sure, you can have life circumstances that are going on that you're going to continue to sort of sort through or whatever, but for the most part, your brain's able to process things, file them away, and it's not going to trouble you. So, for instance, if you're in a traffic jam, or you get stuck in the line at the grocery store behind somebody, and you get real frustrated by it, and in that moment, that's pretty disturbing. I mean, your anxiety is going to increase, your heart rate's going to increase, you're going to maybe say some bad words in your mind about the traffic jam or the person in front of you in the line at the grocery store that's holding things up. But the reality is, if you go to sleep that night, you sleep well, you process all the information of the day, the next day, 24 hours later, you're not still going to be upset and stewing over that traffic jam or that being caught in that grocery store line, because it wasn't a traumatic event. It's troubling in the moment, but it's all done now, and it's in the past, and you don't have to be bothered with it anymore. Trauma doesn't work that way. So when we experience a traumatic event, our brain locks all that information in, all the sights, sounds, smells, physical sensations, emotions, everything associated with that particular traumatic event is going to be locked in, and it's not going to be able to be processed when we go to sleep at night. And that's partially by design. Our brain holds all the information from every traumatic event we experience, so that it can remain fully aware of all of the things that made up that traumatic experience, so that it can now be sort of scanning the environment to make sure that that particular threat is no longer going to come against us, or that particular threat's not out there anywhere still. And so that file cabinet, where at the end of each day of a normal day, everything's filed away, it's nice and tidy. With a traumatic event, it's like taking that piece of paper, which is your day, and wadding it up and throwing it on top of the file cabinet. And so now it's just hanging out there. It just doesn't have anywhere to go, doesn't have its own file. It just sits on top of the file cabinet, which now means all the sight, sounds, physical sensations, emotions, everything connected to a traumatic memory is just lingering out there. And that's why there are flashbacks and nightmares with PTSD, because our brain hasn't had the ability to do anything with that information, so it's just lingering out there. And your sleep at night, your brain may try to process that stuff. It's going to go over it and over it and over it, but our brains can't make sense of trauma on its own. It needs help, and that's where things like EMDR therapy and brain spotting therapy come into play, and I'll have videos about that later. But with all that information just lingering out there, it's right beneath the surface at all times. And so if you have one trauma, your brain is now scanning for all the details of that trauma at all times. That's where hypervigilance comes from. So your brain's like always on alert, saying, I don't want to make sure that this thing doesn't happen again, so I've got to be fully aware of everything going on around me to ensure that doesn't happen again. Now, if you experience multiple traumas, you just keep adding on the things that are now just lingering out there. and adding on to the things that your brain is constantly scanning for in your environment to keep you safe, really. But the reality is, when that trauma is over. It's over. It's in the past. And so your brain's not able to kind of grasp that until it's able to process that information. So your brain thinks that threat is still a threat, and it keeps you amped up and hypervigilant and fully aware all the time of everything going on, which it's a hard place to live. So normal day, normal circumstances, everything gets filed away. It's all done. It's properly filed away, and you won't be bothered by it anymore. Traumatic experiences lingering out there. There will constantly be this undercurrent of, again, the emotions, the hypervigilance. At any given moment, you can be triggered by a particular sight, sound, smell, physical sensation, whatever, and it's going to bring you right back into that moment of that trauma, which is what a flashback looks like, and it's a terrible experience. So with things like, and I'm not going to go into it right now, but with things like EMDR therapy, brain spotting therapy, your brain can actually be sort of helped into the process of processing, so that by the end of some EMDR therapy or brain spotting therapy, and there's others, but those are the ones that I use, by the end of that processing time, those traumatic events are now filed away, just like other normal life events. So the thing that you've been experiencing and hypervigilant about and had this constant undercurrent of anxiety or worry over, or flashbacks or nightmares or night terrors or anything associated with that trauma, now that it's filed away, you won't have to experience those things anymore. So it is necessary to effectively process traumatic events in order to no longer have to experience them. Different forms of talk therapy are fantastic, but that's not going to be what you need in order to process traumatic events. I've had many clients in my office who say, I've been in therapy for years and years and years, and this thing just hasn't budged, and I don't know what to do with it. And then they're able to process through something like that within a matter of a few sessions, and then it's no longer bothering to them. So when I post videos about EMDR or brain spotting, you can click through and watch those and see what they're about. But in the meantime, just know that your brain is doing the best that it can with the information that it has, and it just doesn't have the ability to process trauma. But there is hope for that. And so hold on to hope and find a therapist near you that practices things like EMDR therapy and brain spotting therapy, and I think you'll get the help that you're looking for. But that's how trauma works, and I'd love to have questions or comments in the comments below. So just go down there and let me know what you think about this, or if you have any questions about it, I'd love to answer them for you. Also, if you like this video, click the subscribe button and the little bell that says notification bell that will remind you or notify you anytime I post a video. And I'll try to keep some informative things coming your way. But thanks for watching this, and I hope you have a great day. All right.